What's happening? What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? This TFG Sports Media. Yep, the Cowboys and Niners game just ended. NFC Divisional Playoff. And this is probably, in my opinion, the best game of the weekend, the most competitive game of the weekend. The Niners hold off and defeat the Cowboys 19-12, and they are going to the NFC Championship game. They will be heading to Philly to face those Eagles in the NFC Championship next Sunday, and that is the early game on Fox. The Eagles hosting the Niners. I believe it's 2 o'clock Central Standard Time on Fox. And then the late game, the AFC Championship game, is the Bills at the Kansas City. No, not the Bills. I'm sorry, the Bengals at the Chiefs. That's the late game on CBS, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I believe. And that's going to be in the city. If the Bills would have won, that game, the AFC Championship game, would have been in Atlanta. Well, the Bengals went in on today, and they pretty much put the hammer down on the Bills. I picked the Bills to win that game. The Bengals pretty much set the tone early. But again, I think for me, last 2 weekends of the playoffs, the best game, competitive game, has been this NFC divisional game between the Cowboys and the Niners. Niners able to hang on and defeat the Cowboys 19-12. This was the ninth meeting between these teams in the playoffs, and it's some history between these teams going back to the 80s when Dwight Clark caught the catch that sent the Niners on their way and kind of took the Cowboys in a whole different direction in the 80s at that point. Now the record is 5-4. Cowboys still up a win, but the Niners got the win today, and it is tied for the most in NFL history when it comes to playoffs. Now, this game tonight, it was again. I picked the Niners to win, but I actually picked them to win because I think the spread on this game was like 4.5, if I'm not mistaken. And it lived up to it. I'll be honest with you. The Cowboys played a whole lot better than I thought. Defensively, they really played well. And their defense has played well really all season. And the Niners, I just thought that they had so much firepower on that offensive side. I thought, that it was going to be a task for them to keep them in check. Isaiah, I saw you. Thanks for dropping in, brother. Appreciate you. So this was, again, in my opinion, and I'm speaking from I'm a Packers, I'm a Packers fan, but I kind of keep myself neutral. I do when I'm reporting and I'm talking about games and whatever I'm talking about. I don't put my fan emotions in it. I look at it from just an analyst or opinionist perspective. And I thought this was probably the best game that we've seen over these last 2 weeks in the playoffs. So again, the Niners got to win 19-12. It started out a little rocky for the Cowboys, especially after they've been having problems with their kicker Brett Mahar. In the second quarter, he had that block point after touchdown after Dak Prescott found Schultz for that touchdown, and then he's like, "Oh, woe is me," and that was a 14-play, 74-yard drive too. And Dak, unfortunately, he didn't play as well as he played last week. He had those 2 interceptions in the first half. That wasn't a good look. One of those interceptions, one of those balls he threw, he shouldn't even threw that ball at all. Some of those routes that they had their receivers running, these short stopping goals or whatever, I don't know. Kellen Moore, some of those play calling was a little suspect in my opinion. But the defense was able to overcome that. And losing Tony Pollard as well for the Cowboys offensively, I knew that was going to be an issue for them. He went out with a high ankle sprain. He lost him in the second quarter. After I think he gained it was a pretty good gain, I want to say, for a first down. And they showed the highlight that the tackler, I think it was Warner, that fell on his ankle, kind of similar to Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Pat Mahomes when he had that high ankle sprain, and they did report that Pollard did have a high ankle sprain and he wasn't going to return. So it was a 9-6 game at the halftime. So I figured this game was going to be down. It was going to be whoever didn't make the most mistakes. Cowboys, they couldn't get stops when they needed to, I think, on the defensive side. The Cowboys did have 7 penalties. But this game was pretty much evenly played. And I went back and looked at the stats. Total yards was Cowboys 256, the Niners 312, turnovers. Cowboys had 2, Niners had 1. Brock Purdy played pretty decent. The Cowboys put some pressure on him. But, a rookie, he didn't play too bad. He didn't make too many mistakes. He was 19 for 29, 214 yards. Prescott was 22 of 35, 198 yards, 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. And CeeDee Lamb for the Cowboys caught 10 receptions for 117 yards. But the key to this game was that Niners drive. They got that touchdown drive that put them up. It was a 10-play, 91-yard drive. That was 6 minutes and 9 seconds. McCaffrey scored that 2-yard touchdown run in the fourth quarter that put them up 16-9. And to me, that was the one that put this game out of reach for the Cowboys. And there you have it. Another game between the Cowboys and the Niners. Again, this was their 9th meeting between the teams in the playoffs. They got so much history between both those teams. I remember most of them. The last time the Cowboys won a road game in the playoffs in 1992 was at San Francisco. So the Cowboys still on the snide when it comes to that. They hadn't. Well, no, I'll take that back. They won last weekend against Tampa Bay. They got off of that snide. But Cowboys going fishing. You right, Charles. So I got it. I'm going to make my post. Everybody, I've been talking about everybody. I said it's going to be the Niners. It's BYOFP. Bring your own fishing pole. Come on, join the ship with the Packers, my Packers, with the Bills, with the Jaguars, with the Vikings, and with the rest. Y'all come on and join. In Tampa Bay, y'all come on and join. We're going to go fishing. All I ask is that you bring your own fishing pole. BYOFP. So I thought this was a great game. I'll be honest with you. I picked the Niners to win this game. I think I picked them by 6, I was pretty much right on. I can't remember my final score. But these two teams showed that the Eagles, they dismantled the Giants. Now you got the Niners and the Eagles next week in Philly. I think that's gonna be a great game too. I think both of these offenses, the Niners and the Eagles, they both do a lot of things that's somewhat similar. They got some dynamic offensive players on both sides. I think this is gonna come down to who get the most stops. Who can because I know Philly like to run that RPO a lot with Jalen Hurts, and he's still not 100%. Tori says I picked them as well. Philly sending them packing. I'm not making my pick yet. Miss Toria says she's sending the Niners packing. She's picking Philly. I'm not gonna make my pick until we do our show on Saturday. But we got some good matchups. Again, we got the Niners going to Philly for the NFC Championship, and we got the Bengals going back to Kansas City again for the AFC Championship. We know Pat Mahomes is probably not gonna be 100%. That high ankle sprain. Those high ankle sprains, it takes some time to get over them. So he said he's going to play through it, but he definitely not going to be 100%. So we got the matchups going. I'm not going to make my pick just yet because, again, it's just Sunday. And I'm going to think about it, look over some stuff look at some stats and everything. And but we're gonna have some good ones. Tori says, poor Devin, her Cowboys lost. I know she mad. Yeah, we'll talk about that tomorrow, Tori. We'll talk about that on the show. But I'll be honest with you, Cowboy fans, y'all have no reason to be mad. I think y'all, I'm gonna say this. and I see it all up and down my timeline. And I know, and I'm gonna say this: all these people that always be hating on the Cowboys, it's really funny that y'all always watch them though, but I never see you really talk about your team that you root for. That's funny, and we all know, and it's real. This is facts. Cowboys. Everybody watch the Cowboys. I don't care who your team is. Let's go and be real about it. Everybody watch the Cowboys. Tell the truth, shame the devil. You do. Because why? A, you want to see them lose, or A, subconsciously, you kind of want to see them win. But that's a whole nother topic. But again, I'm a Packers guy, but I also know I keep it. I keep it straight down the middle. I call it like I see it. Again, I thought that both these teams were evenly matched. I thought both these teams were very talented. I did pick the Niners because I thought that maybe they had a little bit more firepower on offense, even though the Cowboys really did shut McCaffrey down. George Kittle was the key. He was the guy. They couldn't. He made some plays, especially that catch. That catch where he went out with his right hand. He didn't bring it in and hit it in the helmet. That play was really the key on that drive. Again, I say that drive, the 49ers TD drive, that 10-play, 91-yard drive that took up 6 minutes and 9 seconds, that was the key. That won that game for the Niners. And their defense just did their thing. Defensive coordinator, D'Amico Ryans, he's a hot commodity for a head coaching job. They did their thing. Dak just didn't make the plays he needed to make. No excuse. Someone asked me a couple of days ago, where would this go in his legacy? I still think Dak is building his legacy, but the one thing I would say about his legacy, he's not consistent. He isn't consistent. I mean, he's won a couple of playoff games, but I know all those Tony Romo fans out there, the Cowboys. But actually, Dak has won more playoff games than Tony Romo. But y'all still take Tony Romo. But I digress. So anyway, that's my take on this Niners-Cowboys game. Again, I think it's been the best playoff game thus far. The early game, the Bills and the Bengals. I did pick the Bills. I just thought they were going to be riding a little high off of the inspiration of DeMar Hamlin. But the Bengals just came and hit them in the mouth, and that was a wrap. They ran the football. Joe Mixon and Pirine and Joe Burrow. They hit the Bills in the mouth, and the Bills couldn't. They didn't have nothing to offer. So I get it. So again, we got some good matchups. Again, we got the Bengals at Kansas City for the second year ago in a row. Next Sunday, that's the early game on CBS, 2:00 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then the NFC Championship game is the late game on Fox. We have the Niners at the Eagles. Tori says, you think Brady will retire now? He lost the season, lost his wife as well. That's a good question, Miss Tori. Will he retire? I think with Tom Brady, I don't see him being back in Tampa Bay. I know they fired their OC, their offensive coordinator, Byron Leftwich. There's been rumors and reports I've been reading that he may hook back up with Josh McDaniels, who was his OC in New England, who's the head coach with the Raiders. Obviously, the Raiders have pretty much, Derek Carr. That's a wrap for him. I would say I think I'm 50-50. I think he'll come back, but I think it definitely won't be back with Tampa Bay. I think he may be back. And he's still got that contract. He's going to be a Fox Sports commentator. I think he signed a, $350 million 10 years or something like that. So do I think he's going to retire? I don't think so. I think he's going to try to play one more year. I do. And I think it'll be with the Raiders, in my opinion. And I think Derek Carr will probably end up either with the Giants. I think Derek Carr's going to end up in the NFC East. He's going to be at least. He's going to end up either with the Giants or with the Washington Commanders. That's what I'm seeing. Then I also saw a report that Aaron Rodgers Tori says, I really do not want to see him on Fox Sports. Well, it's gonna happen, Miss Tori, because he signed that they got him signed, sealed, and delivered for a 10-year. They signed him for a 10-year deal too, which is unheard of. But I mean, for someone that hadn't done it before, he hadn't done commentating and all that, you know. But that's unheard of. This, to sign a guy, 10 years right off the bat, and he's never done it before. But there you have it. So again, playoff weekend, it's been real. I just wanted to jump on here, TFG Sports Media. I want to thank everybody that has subscribed to the channel. We're at 1,000, I believe, 14 subscribers. And I said this in a chat. I said I'm like P Diddy or Love, or whatever you call him. Won't stop, can't stop. And I want to build this channel to get bigger and better, to do some more things, video wise. Invest in some other things to make the production look more as professional. Again, my background is television, news, and sports, so I get it. I know the ins and outs and how you want to run it. So, but I just want to say thank you to all those that have subscribed to the channel. Continue to watch. Continue. I'm gonna keep you informed with breaking news, whatever. So now I can go live on here now whenever I want to, because we met that 1,000 subscriber threshold. So I can jump on here and go live with breaking news or whatever. And so you ain't got to wait for it. So sports is my passion. If you didn't know, now you know. I'm an NFL, NBA guy. But I also like all other type sports that's maybe non-traditional, that you may not see. And I find interesting sports stories, too, that I like to talk about. So, again, end of the divisional playoff weekend. Cowboys, hey, y'all had a great season. Is Mike McCarthy back? In my opinion, yeah, he's back. Will they lose their defensive coordinator? Yeah, I think he's a wrap. I think he's gone. Tori says, now we have to get your watch hours up so we can get you monetized, make some money. Thank you, Miss Tori. Exactly. Again, got to get them watch hours up. I got plenty of stories. I got over probably 600 videos already posted. Some great stories, some features, some human interest stories. Go check them out. Go check out when you're there. Go watch. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that like button. Get that algorithm going. Hit them shorts. Exactly, Miss Toria. Thank you. Watch them shorts. And slide on over and watch some of the stories. There's a lot of stuff going on. We had, especially this weekend, we had a lot of breaking news too. Especially with the Ed Reed situation down at Bethune-Cookman. We talked about that a little bit as well. So I'm always going to be on here trying to give you breaking news and all that, and give you my perspective on it. Again, I'm a sports opinionist and somewhat of an analyst. I'm just giving you my take, but I'm going to give you the facts. I'm not just going to get on here and talk about how I feel about it. I'm going to give you the facts. Then I want you to comment on how you feel about it so we can engage in conversation, because that's what sports is about. It's about sports chat. There ain't no right or wrong, because it's your opinion. There ain't no right or wrong opinion when you're talking about sports. You feel how you feel. The GOAT argument and all that. Ain't no right or wrong answer with the GOAT, whatever sport you like. You like what you like. You know what I mean? I tell people that all the time. It's like, you like who you like. I already know who my GOAT is in certain sports. Ain't nothing gonna change it. But there's no right or wrong opinion about it. But it makes for great conversation. It's barbershop talk, beauty shop talk. If you like sports, you like sports. So there's no right or wrong. So it's good to engage in those type of conversations and all that. So again, I wanted to jump on here real quick. I know it's Sunday. Everybody getting ready to go back to work. Again, Cowboys, hey, I give hats off to you. I know, again, I'm going to get on my timeline on Facebook, and everybody going to be saying this and that and that and this and trash. But a lot of those people, they watch the Cowboys because guess what? Their team sitting on the couch like mine is. Green Bay Packers. So they got a fishing pole just like my Packers. So again, it's just funny to me when I see that. But I don't even know who they team is because they talk more about the Cowboys than their own team. But anyway, neither here nor there. So Cowboys take the L. They lose. They going fishing like everybody else. San Francisco marches on to the NFC Championship. They head to Philly next Sunday. The Bills, they going fishing with us. The Bengals put a beat down on them. And they heading to Bengals are heading to Kansas City, the Arrowhead, a repeat of last year's AFC Championship. So my pick of the Super Bowl teams definitely is out because I picked the Bills. Actually, I did pick the Bills and the Eagles. I picked the Bills and the Eagles. So I still got a shot on the NFC team, but I don't have a shot on the AFC team. And I want to give a shout out to East Texas connection on the Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, my homie. He got that high ankle sprain, but he's straight out of East Texas, White House, Texas, near Tyler, Texas, which is near Dallas, Texas. I actually covered Patrick Mahomes' last high school football game when he was playing at White House, Texas. Shout out to him. Then I want to shout out to the 49ers, East Texas connection, Trent Williams, left tackle, straight out of Longview, Texas, straight out of University of Oklahoma. So we got a couple of Texas men that's going to be playing for a ring. Patrick Mahomes already got one. Maybe I'm putting a horse before the cart. They got to get Trent. The 49ers got to get past the Eagles first. So we'll know. He may got an opportunity to get in that Super Bowl and get him a ring. So again, this TFG Sports Media. I am your sports guy, Kendrick. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. Check out some of the stories. Get these watch hours up like Miss Toria said. Go check out some of the other stories on the channel. Click that thumbs up, like button, get that algorithm going. Make sure you like and follow TFG Sports Media on Facebook as well. So I'm going to do more pop-ups now since I can go live straight to the channel more often, especially when it comes to breaking news. So you guys have a great night. Toria, Miss Williams, good night. Tell Doodlebug I said hello. I will do that. She's in the bed. You all have a good night. Anybody watch this later, make sure you put a comment. I want to know who are your winners, who you got in the NFC Championship and the AFC Championship. Put it in the comments who you got. You got the Eagles hosting the Niners, and you got the Chiefs hosting the Bengals. Who you got going to the Super Bowl? I want to know. Let's talk about it. Again, make sure you check out TFG Sports Media Sports Show on Saturday mornings at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time, 12 p.m. Eastern. We giving it to you straight with no chasers. So again, you all have a great night. I'll holler. We'll see you on the other side. I'm out. Peace.